mic. Check 1, 2, 3. What's up? You know what we talking. We ain't playing over here in LFG. Haters gonna say, we from LFG, boy. We take you to the moon.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mission Control. How you doing today?
Doing good. It is, I want to say it's episode 4, right? It is episode 4. So it's been a while, you guys. Like, I'm not used to like this once every 2 weeks thing. So every time I'm like, I'll see you guys next week. I totally lie to you guys. I'm really sorry. Like, we're coming once every 2 weeks to bring you all the news.
Yep.
Now, has the cold hit all of y'all yet? Because here in Canada, it's hit us and it sucks. It's gray, it's gloomy, it's cold. But just in time, almost real soon, you guys, the hoodies. Yep. It's almost time. So watch out for the announcements. Get ready for that launch and get your hoodies and shit soon.
That's it. And it's been quite a busy week for LFG. Before we head out, Good Paul did just prompt the like and subscribe, so don't forget to do that. So yeah, a super busy week for LFG. And just a quick reminder, we are a accelerator incubator. Our goal is to look for big projects, whether they are Web 2 or Web 3, and help them figure out either a way onto blockchain or help them with whatever it is they're doing. Like some of the projects y'all already know about. There's Magneto HR, there's Flipit, there's Valley, there is I feel like there are too many of them, but Metaflora is one of them. We did have a good episode 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the timeline is all over the place. But so for the LFG's week, our team has been super busy. We went to a whole lot of events, and when I say we, I don't mean any of us. We just exist by our desks. Yeah, yeah. Our biz dev team went to a whole lot of events, including BitCub, DevCon Southeast Asia, World of Web3 Summits, Sub-Zero, Meme Wonder, and a whole lot happened. And the general discourse across all of the participating projects, organizers, speakers is very similar, at least in terms of Web3 games, because Web3 gaming is at the precipice of greatness. Because at this point, we have all learned from our mistakes. We have all figured out things that we shouldn't do. We had the opportunity to learn from other people's mistakes. And now we're all under the firm understanding that the game comes first. Before we figure out any sort of blockchain integration, you do need to make sure that your game is good, that your game is fun. And everything else comes after that. All of the potential benefits of blockchain, true ownership, all of the good stuff come right after, because again, the game comes first. And
Absolutely.
In addition to that, we do have a few clips to show you guys. We're going to kick it off with the clip from World of Web3 Summit. So just a quick reference. So the WoW Summit covers, specifically this year's, covers AI, mobility, fintech, and a whole lot more, just showcasing true mass adoption of the new technology and everything it is we could do. Jason was a speaker at one of the panels, and Good Paul is going to cue a video up for us.
Sure. So really quickly, my name is Jason Brink. A lot of people in the space know me as Bitbender. For those of you in Thailand, I've lived here for a long time now. I was in Thailand when I first got involved in the blockchain space back in 2012, 2013. 2014, I was working as an admissions consultant here, sending Thai kids to universities in the US. When I wrote a paper that was given an award by the Global Development Network and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for the creation of a stablecoin to fix some of the problems endemic to foreign aid. I come into this space looking at blockchain as a way to make a difference. I see blockchain as one of the biggest ways to make an impact. I tried doing that with my aid project for a while and was unsuccessful because, generally speaking, governments and NGOs aren't interested in changing. They make too much money being slow and crappy. So I got involved in play and earn gaming. For the last 4 years, I've been the president of blockchain at Gala Games, which you guys may know about. And I left about 6 months ago, still very closely connected with the community. And in fact, if any of you are interested, there's going to be a little pizza event. You can find it on my Twitter at BitbenderBrink on Wednesday night for the Gala community, so come on out. And yeah, now I run LFG Incorporated, which is a full-service Web3 foundry, and we're incubating and getting ready to launch a bunch of really interesting stuff. And one of our key services that we offer to people is tokenomics advisement, because it's a thing that's really easy to get wrong. So.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about, because when you were at the Gala Games, you were the president of the blockchain. You're the, I guess, what correct. I would call the blockchain godfather. Anything related to blockchain, you are the expert. Yes. So you actually managed to help Gala Games and build a multi-billion dollars venture.
Correct. At peak, it was, I think, $26 billion.
Oh my
FTV.
God. I mean, just, you know, with these amount, this is huge, right?
It's a
and
big
you
number.
were the key person behind this successful venture, right?
I mean, I don't want to say that. My team
The
was
team
very
also,
important.
of course.
You know, I was the person who came in as the blockchain guy, and I think that me and my team had a pivotal role in this, and in the establishment of the Gala community and all of that.
Yeah, I played some of the games also. I joined. It was too expensive to be the mode. That one was too expensive for me to buy. Yeah, I did not join.
They went a little nuts with the pricing sometimes.
But
Sometimes I forget how much Jason had done, and like the impact he's had before, because it's really difficult to take him seriously when he marches around San Francisco chanting beer and tacos.
The man has done a lot. Like, he has so much under his resume, it's almost intimidating.
Oh,
But yeah, that's where he gets all his info from. Like, the man is so knowledgeable. Like, if you spend a day with him, you're gonna learn so much. So yeah, like, he's done quite a bit, and it's quite I would say it's quite impressive as well for everything that he's accomplished at his age. Now, I don't want to reveal his age, but he's actually quite young, you know. Yeah.
His beard gives him away, but it's not
Okay,
as
so-
big as it used to be.
Okay, so let's be honest though. Like, his beard looks fantastic on him. Like, I would never trade his beard for hair on top of his head again. You know what I mean?
So it was your decision then, okay.
It wasn't my decision. It's I came after, okay? I came much after, and then he grew a beard, and I was like, perfect. You look great.
We love beards, man. Okay,
It's the
next
beard.
up. Next up, we have another video coming from, I just want to make sure I get this right, from Sub-Zero, Sub-Zero Reset to be exact, and it was a 3-day immersion summit of like-minded developers, builders, and visionaries united to build the future on Substrate and Polka SDK. This one is about community.
That said, I think that community is one of the main things that really underlies gaming, period. I mean, back in the earliest days when I first started gaming, you know, it was a lot of single player games because there just was, I mean, you either had a LAN party with Hot Pockets and everyone would bring their 400-pound CRT monitors into someone's basement, you know, and that was gaming, and that was, you know, multiplayer gaming. Dude, they were epic, right? You had like, I had an actual dolly for my CPU that I would roll around with it just strapped onto it. It was beautiful. But once multiplayer gaming actually became a thing, gaming became a part of community. because you would play a game and even back in the days when like MUDs and stuff like that, like there was a community that underlined these things, and there was a sense of communication and sharing, and you'd help level somebody up, and gamers are some of the best people out there, just so everyone's clear. And it was just a wonderful community driven experience. Now, for Web3 is at its very core community driven as well, because there is a sense of sort of shared belief that you have to have in whatever the project is, or it just simply isn't going to work. If nobody believes that a project is doing something, then that project dies. And this is why you see projects that crap on their communities wither, because nobody likes that, and it's not going to continue working. Web 2 gaming, you kind of have a little bit of a different experience because your funnel is a lot larger at the top, right? But with Web 3 gamers, it's so small. There's so few gamers out there that are really actively pursuing Web 3 that if you don't take care of the community, it withers and dies. And so I love what you guys are doing with your onboarding of Web 2. I think that's super, super, super critical.
I think it depends. I think we're going to see this personal.
But that said, I think that community is one of the main things that really underlies gaming, period. I mean, back.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, good Paul. Aneeda, when was last time you participated in like I don't want to say a tournament, but like a LAN gaming session?
Oh, well, I mean, the last time I played anything in a group of people, I would say it was probably with you guys, and I was playing Fall Guys with you guys. And I don't know if you remember this, but at the very end there, I was like, I'm so close to the finish line, I couldn't make this jump for the life of me. And then the game timed out.
Yeah, it's typically Chair Bandit winning like all of the Fall Guys sessions, so
Like, it's not even a tournament. So like, I play it because it's fun. I know I'm not gonna win prizes. I know I'm not getting first, second, or any of that, right? But like, it's all just for joy. How about you?
For me, if I know I'm not gonna win, I just like to mess with people. Yeah, if I'm not gonna win, I'm bringing somebody down with me. If it's somebody from the top 3, even better.
Right? Like, haha, sucker. You too. I'm typically not good at any of these games. Like, I'm good at rhythm games like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, all of that stuff. Like, once upon a time, I used to be okay at DDR, and then, we broke all our maps, so there goes that. We're not practicing anymore.
DDR just feels super complicated. Like, honestly, with just way too much movement.
It's not so bad if you put like a chair behind you, you know what I mean? And then you could lean on it and then you just move your bottom half, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what we used to do. I know it's a cheat, but like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. No one can physically move their bottom half that quickly without holding on to anything, okay? So like, let's be real about that one.
Okay, all right, okay. But for all of you who missed out on the opportunity to play a video game that you like in a group of people that you don't necessarily know, and to be more specific, I'm talking about LAN cafes, internet cafes. If you've never had the experience of getting into a fist fight after a successful victory, and trying to think of the name of the League of Legends map, the Runeterra, I think. So if you've never had that, I have a feeling these things are finally coming around to the United States. I had the conversation with Johnny from Valley, and there are a few internet cafes popping up in New York. And if they're popping up in New York, I have a feeling they're going to be on the other coast. And after that, they're going to be everywhere else.
Don't you guys miss that arcade thing that we all used to go to? Like, I'm sorry if I date all of us all over again, but I feel like for the most part, the 80s and 90s kids, we grew up with arcades. These are places you go to the mall and you loiter at, right? You take all your change, you take all your friends, you go there, you play. This is before cell phones and mass computers and internet, all of that stuff. There's only one place you can really go and play all these games with, right? Why wouldn't you bring that back? Because now we're all stuck inside. Everyone's talking to their phones and computers and stuff. Just bring your friends, go inside and do that. At least you're still together while doing cool stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm so glad you brought this up because it's a perfect segue for me. So, gonna talk about Valley again. And one of the things that Valley's doing right, at least in my opinion, is how they ease players into blockchain experience. Because realistically, if you are at an arcade, you've already committed your time, you're already there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it takes like a quarter to play a video game, and you play it and you enjoy it, and then after you're done, after you die miserably because that's your first time playing it, a notification pops up and it says something between the lines. Hey, would you like to commit your score to the global leaderboard that's going to stay there forever? Would you like to be a part of this game from this point onwards? And that just hits a little different because that gives you another motivation. Because like back in the day, going back to the same arcade just to make sure that nobody topped your score was one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. like
No
like
idea.
camping the arcade machine and making sure that that bastard that's like at your heels, that he doesn't get a shot at it.
Like, yeah, that's a thing, right? Because like you go back in 2 days and you're like, where the hell is my name? It was up there. Like I was first. Who is this guy? Who's
Yeah,
who's ASA?
Yeah, I was
You know,
gonna say,
like, who this?
So now you get that, but on a global scale, if you're really good and you're playing, I don't know, Miami, people all the way in Manila could see you and try to take a crack at you. So you can no longer camp the arcade cabinet, but you sure as hell can show the rest of the world how good you are.
Oh heck yeah, you guys! Like, imagine the bragging rights you could get if
Oh
you
yeah,
kept that top score. You would have been like, yeah, that's me, that's me.
yeah. Put
Brag
that
all
on your
you want. There's
resume.
nothing we can say. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah. Are we allowed to mention anything about their when they open their
Not
machine?
quite. Not quite. There is something we're
Okay.
working on. Since you're twisting my hand, I should be able to talk about it on the next episode, which is not next week, but the following week. Once we look in the deeds, we will talk more about what it is. It has something to do with the value. I'm personally very excited for it. I know Anita is super excited for it. You can't
Very.
hear it, but Paul is screaming in my ear about how excited he is. Yep,
So you guys keep your eyes and ears peeled. I'm gonna consider that like a mini league for y'all. So keep
yep.
your ears open for what's to come because it's exciting.
And I know how everyone is tired of the entire Wenthun, but like honestly,
Yeah.
super excited about it. I would like to I would like to have kept it to myself for a little longer, but you can blame Anita for that one.
You know, I am for the people, okay? I am always like, what you got for us? What's exciting? This is why you have to keep being excited for us, you know? If you're not giving us anything, what are we being excited about, you know? Like,
That's
I
fair.
want to share this excitement with everyone, and I want them to be in the same level as excitement with us. But, you know, it's hard when you can't share. So give us a little something every week, you know?
Yep. Oh, I see even Wave in chat. Yell if you want. You can go bother him. I don't think he'll tell you anything, but go ahead. Okay, so back to onboarding. Jason had a great conversation about onboarding at one of the events, and good Paul, please and thank you.
Absolutely, like user experience is so important, right? And I think we learned that very expensively. So, what about this? You know, blockchain is still here, and it does have its benefits. And I think in terms of like the blockchain ethos of community, right, bringing people together that Web2 companies cannot, I think that can still have a chance. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, community is always something that's absolutely been critical to gaming, right? I was on the third panel I was on this morning, or something like that, and one of the things that I was talking about is how, you know, back in the day, as soon as we got out of pure single-player gaming, then immediately what we had is we had community-based gaming. You had groups of people coming together, forming teams, forming squads, right? And you know, anyone who's played any sort of game knows that you always, you know, you stick with your boys, right? Like that's how gaming works. And the tribalism of crypto lends itself very well to this. And so community, I think, is absolutely key. Now
The important part there, though, is how do you get people into the community without having the high friction, pain, and suffering of trying to enter into Web3. And the reality is that Web3 will be successful when we stop referring to it as Web3, when it's just gaming and, hey, by the way, you own your shit.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, as simple as that. It's not necessarily about the technology. While it is super cool for people like you and I, Anita, anytime we start talking about it to people who don't know what it is, they just see their eyes glaze over and they just kill the conversation.
I mean, yeah, because they're like, oh, blockchain, crypto, right? And there's so much negativity that's associated to it, but it doesn't have to be, right? It really doesn't. Like, it. I don't know why it had to be so intimidating to begin with. Like, I wish when it first came out, it would have been like all the little fun things that people would be able to engage with first and foremost, right? Because, like, look at it now. We have to reel people back in and be like, hey, it's not scary, I promise.
It's
right?
not just monkey JPEGs, you guys. There's more to it.
Absolutely. You know what's funny? I was speaking of interesting Web3 things, and this probably has nothing to do with anything except for my Tamagotchi obsession lately. But you know what'd be really cool? This might actually tie into like the whole fuzzles thing that was happening before. You know how cool it would be if we can have like a Tamagotchi fuzzle thing that was connected? And then every game you play, it would like, you can use like your tokens and stuff on it, and then everything's recorded in your blockchain. You know, that would be cool. Maybe just from like my own entertainment, but like, I don't know.
I got something to tell you. Yeah, what Paul said, graveyards would get big. He's right. He's absolutely right. Because that's what immediately that's what came to my mind, because the rest of the world for the rest of the time would see how many Tamagotchis I've killed. How many of them put themselves to death and starved.
Okay, so I guess we don't want everything on the blockchain, but could you imagine? That would be nuts. This goes back to like this brief conversation me and Cynister had earlier about like hot pockets and stuff, and I think Jason was actually talking about it in one of his clips too.
Yep.
But like, imagine if everything was just recorded on the blockchain. Like, you can't lie to your doctor and stuff. Like, everything you eat, just what a weird world if everything was recorded. That would be a little too much.
Yeah, and everything is good in moderation, right? I don't think people really care about how many hot pockets I eat. anyone except for my doctor. But if somebody wants to record that and puts all the effort into it, I mean, more power to them. That's why we're here. That's why everything is decentralized. Build whatever it is you want. I don't see many people volunteering their hot pocket addiction for the sake of the project, but more power to you. But getting back to the Tamagotchi, so the Let's Go Pokemon games that came out on the Switch, and they had a dedicated controller slash like a peripheral. And it was a Pokeball. It had a stick and a button, and you could play the game with it, but you also could connect it to your Pokemon Go account.
Interesting. I've never heard of this.
And on top of that, you could take your favorite Pokemon from your Let's Go game, put it in that Pokeball, and carry it around with you while you're like working, going about stuff. And then when you come back home and connect the Pokeball back to your Switch, you would be able to see how much experience your Pokemon got while it spent the day with you.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That was the coolest thing. I didn't get to buy one of the Pokeballs because they were sold out. So I hunted this guy down on like OfferApp, and I dragged my wife, and I drove for like 2 hours with our dog to buy this Pokeball. But I feel like it's a good investment.
I mean, it sounds awesome to play with. Like, if I was a kid, I'd be like, Mom, I want one too. Did you hear that nice man speaking about this Pokeball? Yeah, I need one. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but I need one like yesterday. Now I'm going to have to go find one.
Honestly, last
It
I
seems like a
checked,
cool little gadget.
yeah, last I checked, they were going for like maybe $200 a pop on eBay, which
Okay.
is like more than they're worth, I would say. But it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
All right, we gotta bring it back a little bit. We do have one more video to show. Let me just zero in on it. Hang on. Okay, so this one I feel like everyone will be able to resonate with because Jason speaks a little bit about everyone's experience with blockchain games, what it had been, and what we're looking forward to. Good, Paul. Listen, thank you.
I fully agree with all the points that you guys said there. I feel that here next to John, I'm not going to have shit to say about gaming because his experiences are so much deeper than mine, and yeah. Anyway, but when it comes to Web3 gaming, for a really long time, it has been bullshit. Honestly, it's been really bad. It's been really rough out there, and every single person in this room has seen a dozen games, maybe one or two of which were made by the company I used to work for, that you've been like, wow, we could have done this differently, or these things could have been done in a better way. And I think that's in large part due to the fact that for a long time, Web3 gaming has been driven not by game development or by game players, but by looking at Web3 items and NFTs and tokens and stuff as an asset class, as opposed to a thing that improves gaming. Now, the good news is that it doesn't have to be that way, and we're seeing much better gaming experiences begin to sort of rise from the ashes of the last bear market, where games like what Star Atlas is working on are coming up, and you're seeing things and you're like, oh yeah, that looks like an actual game. That is actually fun. It's not just a bullshit experience. On the flip side of that, though, we also have Telegram tappers, so that's fun, I guess. But there is hope for the future. But we need to work together as an industry to hold a. Did I just call you out? I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. But I'm sorry. I'll give you a hug later, man. I there's a place for everything. Okay. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yes, I truly agree. I think we are trying to build.
For what it's worth, I feel like the Tapper games are not all that bad. It's just the ones we've seen come out recently are super raw. Because me personally, I really like idle games, and I spent ridiculous amounts of time on like venture capitalist, clicker game, and a whole lot of others, and they're all essentially the cookie clicker from like 2000, I want to say 14, but they're wrapped in different things. Like in one of them, it's like you're scouring dungeons, and another one you are like, you're a venture capitalist, etc., etc. There is some merit to them. They are super brain rot. I am willing to admit that, but I really enjoy them.
I have a hard time playing brain rot games. Like my attention span is like a goldfish. Okay, like if you're not keeping my attention more than like a couple seconds, I'm most likely not going to continue to play it, unfortunately. And as horrible as that sounds, like it has to be interesting. It can't be repetitive. Like we are in a day and age where everyone pretty much has ADD, you guys. So please try and keep our attention, keep it interesting. Because if it's not, I'm sorry, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not playing your game. I'm sorry. But I'm being honest, okay? So this is something y'all have to take into account because it's true. All right.
I feel like it's a delicate balance, and it's always interesting to see how different developers and different games handle that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one hand, you have games that are borderline slot machines with just
Mm-hmm.
flashing lights and
Yeah.
just flashing lights and spinning reels. I'm just gonna say it. But on the other hand, when you build something more complex, you need to figure out a way to make it more engaging.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more notable examples I'm going to bring up is going to be League of Legends. First of all, because everyone knows the game. While I don't agree with everything they do, and like honestly, who the fuck am I to tell them what I agree with and don't? But the thing they handled incredibly well, that I'm going to say is an ingenious design, is their 3-hit passives. So for reference, for those of you who don't play League, a 3-hit passive is fairly simple. You need to, in order to get the effect of the passive, like a bonus damage, damage amplification, like a status effect on the enemy, you need to hit them 3 times.
Mhm.
And it's visually displayed very well. I know for one of the characters, it's literally rings stacking around the enemy. And once you get to the third one, you get the satisfying pop sound, and you see a chunk of their health go away. And
Mhm.
the amount of times I put myself in dangerous, stupid situations just to hear that sound and just to see the health go down a little quicker, just because it feels good, that's the sort of thing I'm on the lookout for.
It's that instant gratification, hey?
Exactly.
They get you.
Yeah, yeah. I might have gotten myself killed and we just lost the game, but that popping sound was pretty nice, man.
See, I feel like they have engineers just they pay attention to all the little things, and that's how they get you everywhere, right? Like it's well thought out through and through. I don't like the games that are just like they seem very cookie cutter, like your Connect threes or your Match threes or your Build the Village, things like that. You know what I'm talking about? They're
Yeah.
all very they're so boring. It's just like you slap a different theme on it. It's the same but different. When I see it, I don't really even want to click on it and try and play it. You know what I mean? Even if it's like a theme that I do like. So like, y'all, let's try something new.
Do better,
Make
damn
it
it.
engaging. Correct.
Do better.
Do better. I love games. Make me love them again. Okay.
It's honest. Another thing that I'm going to bring up is there are a lot of games that are migrating to mobile, either because the hardware now allows for it, or
Mm-hmm.
because the market is incredibly good for mobile games. But there are a lot of good titles, a lot of titles that I played on, like on my Switch, on my computer, that migrated to mobile, and they all work very well. Even the controls, I would say 90% of the time, are very good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are of the mindset that the mobile games are just the Farmvilles, the Match Threes, the what's that game called? The Candy Crushes. it
Yeah.
it seems like we are at a point in time where more and more developers are considering mobile as a big enough platform to dedicated resources to. Now, it will be a little while until it will be okay for people to spend, let's say, like from $5 to $15 on a mobile video game. So that was probably one of the bigger reasons they didn't do that previously. But I'm the guy who'll
Mm-hmm.
do it. If I played your game on PC and I liked it, I'll pay for it on mobile just to play it when I'm like in the
You know,
background.
it makes sense because, like, if the game is good enough, you're going to want to play it all the time. So, even if you have to pay a little bit more to get it, like, mobile, you're gonna because it's still good enough to bring everywhere with you. You know what I mean? So, again, y'all, do better. Do better.
Okay. Good Paul is reminding me, and I did tell Even Wave, if you're still here. We're going to play a little Flutter. This is the game that's coming from Valley. The game is currently live, and you can even earn a little bit by playing.
All
And
right, let's see some of that.
yeah, good poll, please and thank you. I just want to make sure we transition. Yeah. All right. Warren just made fun of me because I said I was gonna beat Even Wave's high score of 7,800. Warren called me a naive child. So let's see. So fairly simple. I know it picks up at a certain point.
Like Jolrick said, remember, don't die.
Yeah, the trick is not to crash into an enemy and die. I heard. And collect all the gems. Have you played this, Aneeda?
I haven't yet.
Is this your type of game to like, oh god, side-scrolling platformers?
You know what? I actually don't mind this at all.
Oh,
Side scrollers is what I started with as a child. And Tetris.
okay. All right. I got to 22, but I feel like I could do better. Tetris was good. Have you played Tetris 99? Because that's like a whole different experience.
No, is that the one where everyone plays on one screen?
It's it's a battle royale Tetris.
Because like that would be nuts. I would love to play something like that. You know, everyone I've asked to play Tetris, they're like, ugh, Tetris, ugh. Right? So no one ever wants to play Tetris.
Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That's the thing with these side scrollers, like, and if they're going quick, you can't do anything else. You just gotta pay attention.
Well, you see, in this one you can slow down, but when you slow down, you get less points. See, like, well, you get no points. Like right now, I'm slowing down.
Mm.
So it's this is the definition of arcade game. You get good, or you better have like a purse full of quarters.
So I see a comment here from Alfonso, and it says, I'm a video game developer. Do you guys think I could have a game published by Valley?
Oh, that's a great question. Even Wave, are you here?
Even Wave!
I got someone for you.
Because like that would be very cool too. Like I enjoy hearing people's like game ideas because a lot of them sound very interesting. Some of them are just brain rot, but that's great too. Right? Because like the best ideas for games come from brain rot. And that's why they're entertaining. But like everyone's game ideas, I think are interesting to hear. So like one of these days I'd love to hear game pitches. So Alfonso, good luck. I hope all goes well. Go ahead and DM Even Wave, he says.
Yep. I might have been a little too ambitious when I said 7,800 wasn't so bad.
That's okay. Dream big. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Oh, the amount of times that exact phrase got
Ooh.
used.
Chair said you won't break 2,500. Ooh, that's a challenge.
I've gotten to 46 before. I know a certain someone who didn't.
He's
He has
like,
a
yeah,
beard
prove
and
it.
he still swears.
You're super welcome, Alfonso.
Oh. Okay, that one was rough. That one was more difficult. Just that one dodge, kind of, with the enemies on all of the horizontals. I was gonna say verticals.
Okay, so how many times do you restart before you rage quit games?
Depends. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to be in the right headspace. I'm not the kind of guy who would spend a lot of time trying to play the game in the perfect way. I'd rather just get it and play it the way I want to play than trying to mid-max. I'm guessing you can see this in my gameplay right now.
Like, you seem so chill all the time whenever you play any games. Like, I've watched you play a lot, you know?
I don't know, that backroom stream was... because watching somebody play a horror game and, like, seeing them react, it's easy to be like, that's just, like... It's just playthrough.
Yeah, hey, pussy. You know, no, that's not the case, okay?
That's what I always thought. And I feel like I'm not all that emotional, but when those things caught me off guard in the dark, I screamed. I was legitimately scared for my life.
Like, okay, so it pops up in front of you, right? So you do get startled. I remember, you know, my mom's just like, why are you screaming? And I'm like, I was playing a scary game.
I sent a clip of me screaming to my younger sister. And she wrote me back almost immediately. She said, it sounds exactly like what I heard when we lived in the same apartment when we were kids. At like 2 a.m. So I guess I'm more emotional than I think I am.
Aw. That's
But
funny.
horror games, man, go figure.
Have you heard of Fatal Frame? That's a horror game that I remember my brother playing, and I heard of this game like, I don't know, almost 20 years ago, and you don't have any weapons. You are given a camera and you point and shoot, and that's how you capture ghosts. Okay. Now, your first thing, you don't get like a camera, you get like a flashlight. That's all you get. So when you see a ghost, you gotta run because you don't have your camera yet. So imagine a game like that, and it's super realistic, and it was Japanese, I'm pretty sure. Like these Jap ghosts, I'm telling you, they're like extra scary. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're like crawling on the ground or like peeking at you through like paper doors. I don't know, but they're terrifying.
There was a game by a Japanese developer. I think it was called Siren Blood or Siren Call, something like that. It was terrifying, legitimately terrifying. They just got the formula down, and the game is pretty old at this point.
So what I want to do is I want to get like a library full of these scary ass horror games and just like gift it to my sibling, because my sibling has like balls of steel and he's not afraid of anything. Like he's playing this Fatal Frame game and he's just like, oh, I want this girl to come closer. I think she has a nice smile. I'm going to take a picture of her. And she's like the most grotesque looking thing when it pops up, and he's like, oh, look, see, she got a pretty smile. I'm like, oh my God, man. So like my whole entire life, I've been honestly watching him play scary games, and I love it. Like I don't have the balls to play it, but he does, and it's so fun watching him play because he's not scared of it, right? And then it's just me screaming in the background, and he's just like, all right, man, chill out."
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of the horror genre. Have you ever played Outlast?
No, I've heard of it.
It's it came out right after the entire Slenderman hype was starting to die down. And the way it works is you're a journalist and you only have a camera, so you cannot fight back. You can only document what's going on. And you are in a mental asylum and things are bad.
Well, guess what I'm getting today.
If you haven't played it, do try it. All right, I think people are starting to get fed up with me dying here. I think I got to. Well, hang on. What did Chair say? 2,500?
He said, "Yeah, I remember. I told you."
Okay, Paul said I got to 2,552, so I win.
Eat it, Chair. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it back one more time here. I'm gonna try to talk a little less. Because it did get to 4,600 before. I could do it again.
All right, so Sinister's proving that he is going to kill it at Flutter. Okay. Let's be nice.
Now, the top score is like 12,000 or something that. Yeah.
So Chair said 2,600.
Oh, 2,600 now. All right, that guy.
So FNAF, I've actually played before, and my child actually has it on VR. And that is one of the games I do not enjoy him playing at night because the amount of shrieks that are going through the house in like the middle of the night. I'm like, buddy, you gotta stop doing that. And he's like, but it's scary. I'm like, stop playing it past 10. Okay. No one wants to hear you scream because he's 11, right? So he's still got like that really high-pitched, ear-piercing scream.
The choir boy.
Yeah, so I'm just like, buddy, you gotta stop because like my ears are gonna bleed soon. Like, just play it in the morning, okay? You'll be less scared too.
The neighbors are gonna hear this, and then Child Protective Services are gonna take you, and you're not gonna like the foster homes.
Oh, I'm gonna be like, I swear it's VR. They're gonna be like, yeah, and he's not sleeping at 10. Why? Because he watches too many scary things. It's not me, I swear. You know?
I just want to get...
You had 2,552.
Yeah, I'm here for
that was a quick one.
Yeah. Shoot. I feel like I need actual buttons instead of my keyboard to do well
Mhm.
here. I wonder how the top players are doing this. If they hook this up to a controller or something.
This is interesting. Okay, so here's an interesting question for all of you. Um, since the new year is coming up, in the new year, what kind of crazy blockchain technology do you think they'll come up with? Now, wrong answers only, and it only has to relate to Dark Mirror. Wrong answers only. Let's hear them. What do we got?
My
Nothing.
doctor just knowing my seeing all of my grocery store receipts with all the
No,
sour
that's just
candy and
the
soda.
bank. It wouldn't even be your doctor. It's just the bank and like the government. Like, is this what our people is doing now? Is this what we spend our monies on?
Yeah, like somebody from Wells Fargo or Bank of America comes to like your apartment. And he's like, "You're doing all right, man."
Oh, that would be crazy. So that reminds me, it's almost like the Target, that one girl that had like Target stuff sent, and she found out she was pregnant. Well, Target knew she was pregnant before they even knew she was pregnant.
Oh,
Something like
right.
that, right? So imagine if they just track everything and they just know everything you do, and it's used against you, and you don't
Well-
even know it's being used against you.
The crazy part is that there are companies out there that are trying to do this without blockchain technology. Period. Like Kroger wants to be able. Oh my god! I should not have been talking that much.
Sorry.
Uh,
So Joe Rick said putting haircut styles on blockchain, which you can download to a robot to give you the unique haircut. I don't know about robot haircutters because I don't know if I would trust that. That's like too many shears going real close to my face and neck, and like, you know.
yeah.
What if you sneeze?
What if you sneeze? What if
It's like-
what if the robot is not in a good mood?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. What if its creator didn't like you? I know I'm giving terrible what if scenarios.
Hey, those are the most fun.
But it's
Oh.
I don't think it's out of the realm, right? Because there's some people that are like, you know what? Everyone can use this except for you. I think I saw an article about that where they made like the darkest like paint in the world. Yes. Yeah. So there's a guy, and I guess he said that there's one certain person that wasn't allowed to buy his paint. And I was like, that's crazy.
That's something I would do if I made something. Chair Bandit cannot buy my product, just period.
Like, you make the best chair ever, and you're like, sorry, chair isn't allowed to buy this. Correct.
Oh, he would indeed steal it. That's a good point, Paul.
Oh, AI blockchain pets. Okay, so again, this ties back into my Tamagotchi thing, okay? Like, I think it would be so cool, but Paul, you are correct. There's going to be a lot of dead ones there. And you know what? Maybe that can be used to screen
26,
if people are going to be...
Alright.
Maybe this graveyard could be used to screen if people are going to be good pet parents or not. Hmm?
That's a good point. Just to keep a dossier on on pet
Like, we
owners.
know, we see what you do. This is
Okay.
like a pet credit system, you know?
Yep. You were bad to your pets. We can see it here, here, and here. This is why the next pet you can get, and the only pet you can get, is a Chihuahua.
Oh, maybe like a goldfish. Like, if you are diligent enough to keep this alive for the next 3 months, you can upgrade to a hamster. You know?
Oh, it's like an artificial karma system. If you fuck up really bad, your next pet is a rock.
Hey, you never know. Like, some people could kill rocks. You don't know. Maybe they'll be like, oh, and it went off the Grand Canyon.
Or like throws it in the rock tumbler.
Exactly. They're like, I was just trying to make it shiny and pretty.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. We have one more thing. We're gonna take a look at Miranda's, the public preview, and y'all gonna see a little bit of good Paul here.
Yo, let's get excited. Mirandus.
It looks like we loaded in a bit of a wrong time. And this is good Paul playing, by the way. This isn't me or Anita. My hands are over here. So right now, Miranda's really reminds me of the Lone Dark game, just stylistically, and it looks oh sinew and raw crude meat. Can you do something with the sinew? Can you make like a bowstring?
Okay, so based on what I see already, it has improved quite a bit, like mass amounts from the very first playtest. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
In comparison, holy crap. Okay, you guys, this is being built from like the ground up. So I think it's great. It looks wonderful.
I'm a
still waiting
huge
to play it.
fan of different art styles and games
Mhm.
because realistically, at this point in time, it's still difficult, but it's not all that difficult to create something hyper realistic or fairly close to hyper realistic. But there are titles out there like Lone Dark and Miranda's, I guess, because again, it looks fairly similar, where the art style carries a lot because there's only so much of hyperrealism I can get when my laptop is like sounds like a jet engine, you know?
The world looks so good now.
I'm just waiting to for the sun to come up a little bit.
I'm assuming you're going to see even more detail then.
Paul, how come you don't have the ring of Discord?
Do you want one? Oh,
He said he has one, just not there.
okay. So I was going to say, if you want one, I'll give you one.
Okay, how many rabbits do you have to kill? Oh, they're telling you to get a certain item from the rabbits. All right, so just keep slaughtering the rabbits. Not wrong with that. No, not gonna affect the ecosystem.
Oh, God.
Anita, have you ever seen that episode of South Park about World of Warcraft?
Honestly, I didn't watch South Park at all. And yes, be very disappointed. You know who does watch South Park? My kid.
All right, don't tell that to Child Protective Services.
There's only so much I can do before he's just like, Mom, stop being annoying. Because, like, I'm just like, bro, this is inappropriate for your age. Bro, you can't do that. And he's like, you're so boring. You never let me do anything. And I'm like, oh. And then he'll come home and tell me all about, like, the South Park stuff that he learned from his friends. And then I guess he does it on his free time when he's not with me. But yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about it. Tell me all about it.
So the gist of the episode is that the guys are playing World of Warcraft, and there's a hacker on the server that's way too overpowered, and he's just player killing, and nobody can have any fun. And they don't have access to any of the resources anywhere but like the just outside the starting zone, like around Shire. So instead of doing the proper thing of progressing through zones and like leveling up in the traditional sense, they decided that the only way they can progress is by killing like 10,000 boars. And Good Paul found the lesser essence of Pierce. Apparently, that's what rabbits carry. Some rabbits. And we're looking for a stand now to make stuff, I'm assuming. So yeah, it only took like 10,000 boars to get up to the level, and like a super special artifact that was brought to them from like Blizzard.
Did you say only 10,000 boars?
Yeah. Paul,
toothless animal.
I don't think I know that one, good Paul. I know.
Ooh.
Oh, right, the Carbot, the Carbot comic. So, this takes me back to the vanilla World of Warcraft because the way the game worked is there weren't enough quests for you to get experience from to hit the max level, and
Hmm.
they didn't have, from what I understand, they didn't have enough time or resources to put more quests in. So instead of that, they would shift the objectives a little bit. So you would need to collect like 10 teeth, like 10 boar tusks, and you would kill like 20 boar tusks and get three. You would kill 20 boars and only get 3 tusks out of them. So the comic is that you see a boar, it has tusks, it's attacking you with the dang tusks, but when you kill it, you can't get any.
Oh.
Oh,
Look at that.
oh, the vista. You gotta catch the deer, man. Like sprint. Oh, he needs to make a bow. Okay. I'm still holding on to all of the Miranda's wallpapers. They're tucked away in a folder on my laptop. Oh,
There's a lot of really cool Miranda stuff. Like, through the years, the wallpapers they've given us, they are so pretty. Okay, like these are very, very, very much use worthy. Like, you know how sometimes you see wallpapers and you're like, it's all right. Some of these I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use that.
yeah. Like when somebody tried too hard, on they tried to do something on on a theme that was overdone like a million times.
Hmm.
It's still good, but it's like kind of old at this point, type of thing.
They're
But
still nice
Miranda's
though.
comes through. Miranda's comes through
Hmm.
every time. The giant crow monster, uh, the um, the cactus trees, the swamp.
That's the thing, right? Like they keep it nice and fresh. It's not repetitive. It's not like, it's that again. Oh look, cool, another angle. You know. Mm. Oh.
Let's see. Oh, even Wave said, "I like how Sinister's beard has a built-in pondering functionality." It's really, it's a really good design. Thanks, even
Shit,
Wave.
that's funny.
Oh, that is really funny, actually. Oh, oh, a crude bow, crude arrow. All right, you gotta get me a buck, Paul. Come on.
So in the meantime, y'all don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell because if you don't, you're never gonna hear new news from us, right? And if we're gonna drop leaks, how are you gonna hear it if you don't subscribe and hit the notification bell, right?
Yeah, and
So make sure you do.
we got all kinds of things happening, and we'll be talking about them the week after next week.
You did it too.
I did it too. Yes, old habits die hard. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Next episode. That's it.
Correct. We'll see you upon the next episode.
Okie dokie, and we are right at an hour. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Good Paul, thank you for slaying all of the Bambi's friends for us to watch. and enjoy.
It's okay. Bambi has no friends now. It's cool.
It's just Bambi now.
All right.
Okie dokie. We're just gonna wait for Paul to stop gutting the buck.
It's okay. He's saving Bambi.
Less competition for Bambi, I guess.
Keep him alive. It's okay. All right,
right,
y'all.
folks.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Okay, bye.